Unlike the narratives I made that played at Sundance, there was subject matters and things that I didn't want the audience to know. I wanted them to be surprised by the turns. In this movie, I hope folks come in and know it's about a survivor of child abuse, because then you'll be pleasantly surprised when you go, oh, this is kind of entertaining and funny too. At one point, Barry says, I'm such a bad actor, I'm gonna get cut on my own documentary. He says that on stage. And then I'm just cutting, and then James Franco is playing Barry for a couple minutes in the movie. So I'm shooting that Wednesday, so hopefully Mr. Franco is a delight. Hopefully it all pans out, but that's what, I don't know. It was very nice. Gus Van Zandt actually hooked me up with him. Hi, I'm Bobcat Goldthwait. I'm the director of Call Me Lucky. It's a documentary premiering in the U.S. documentary competition in Sundance. That's the 2015 version. Don't go to any other version. That's the one you'll find it in.
I was always very aware of this name and this presence of, if you really want to see somebody go to the edge, you got to go look for Barry Crimmins. But he wasn't putting albums out. The internet wasn't there yet.
He's like a guy like in a John Ford movie, He's just this combination of sort of anger and sentimentality.
Call Me Lucky is a documentary that I made about my old friend. His name is Barry Crimmins. He's a comedian. He's a political satirist. He's a really fascinating guy. I've known him since I was a kid. He's not well known, but he's well known in the comedy world. There's a lot of folks that he either influenced or had something to do with their careers.
I knew that he was a troubled guy. Things were not easy for him. They didn't seem easy for him ever.
I'm making a TV show here, okay? And you're yelling. Just get out. I don't like you.
Barry Crimmins' story is very fascinating. He was a comedian, and he kind of was leaning towards the political side of things. My favorite Barry Crimmins joke is, people say, Barry, if you don't love America, why don't you leave it? He says, because I don't want to be a victim of its foreign policies. So he's always a really sharp guy. But what happened to Barry was he was raped when he was 4, repeatedly. It wasn't a one-time thing. His sister had reached out to him, and Barry had never really dealt with it at all. And he was always a hard-drinking, really tough guy. Kind of put in his lap that he was going to deal with this. And so Barry stopped doing comedy. He left Boston, moved to Cleveland. Barry always says, you don't go around a problem, you go through it. And so after that, he just went on and helped a lot of other adult survivors. He always had a lot of anger, but after this, he took that anger and he channeled it, and he started aiming it at really specific targets instead of himself and everyone else. Originally, I was going to make a narrative. I was going to have an actor play Barry's story. Robin Williams was my best friend, and he knew Barry's story, and he suggested, why don't you go out and make a documentary? He actually gave me the money to start this movie, so that was in February. So it's I hope I do both my friends proud. I hope it works.